What is cracking? It is your girl, Lillian Francis. It is my absolute delight to be breaking down my track Fine Line for y'all today. I think it's so fascinating to see how other people produce music because there are so many different ways to do it. And especially when I was just starting out, I was really wondering, like, how does it all come together? And so I hope that in looking in my project, y'all can get some ideas and pick up some new tricks and techniques. And hopefully it encourages you guys to make more music. That is always my goal. So Fine Line started when I was on a road trip last year. This was one I actually made with my friend Clark. We were jamming in his van, just like making beats and having a good time. And at the end of it, we were like, hey, this is kind of cool. So it started off with this little beat that we made together, and then I just kept going with it until it is the song that you are going to hear today. So without any further ado, let us dive right in. Splash! All right, fam, welcome to my proj. Here's the whole situation. First, I'll show you guys what we started out with, Clark and I. These are some of just our first little jam ideas. We were just noodling, but we had this part. We had this aux ting. And then we have this main ting right here. So that's the original jam. Let's see how it developed. I guess first I'll just point out how the sounds that you just heard are incorporated into the song. So that first little like bassy thing becomes our intro and kind of underlying little simple doodah pattern. So here's what it turned into. Beneath paper palm trees. So that's where bassy tings ends up. It kind of goes throughout the entire song. And then we have aux tings, which also comes in during the verses. Where does breath become air? Drop a pin. Trace the hem of my lips. And then main ting. Oh, I just love this one. Now we're gonna kind of reverse back in time and now kind of start from the beginning of this, guys. We're gonna start with the drums. Okay, here we have the drums. Drums, pretty chill fucking beat. Here's our little kick friend. Right on the grid. We got our snare friend. A little bit off the grid. You can see they're just a little bit snugged to the side. So it's a little bit of a late feel to it. And then we just have this fun little percussion doing its thing. Let's see what's happening in percussion land. We're just doing our thing. Oh, okay. I hear some transposition automation. Am I right or am I right? Or am I right? Am I right? Haha! We have that transposition automation, baby. I have this automation just kind of going up and down and kind of wiggling all around. Cool. That's a very fun way to make it more interesting. Let's see. We got this like clicky perk situation, which is just a bunch of little audio samples. And you can see we have automation on the panning, so they're kind of like moving back and forth. Okay, moving right along, some reverse drums. These are just my drum hits that I resampled and then reversed. Those are fun little sprinkles on the cupcake. And then what do we have here? I have this percussion loop. Oh, this is one of my favorite things to do. When I want to spice up a beat and add some just kind of good energy to it, and I don't necessarily know what I want, I will pull in a percussion loop that I like and make it my own by using Beats Warp mode and then preserving my transients with a no loop mode, and then I will pull down my fade right here. So if I have this on just complex mode, then you hear the full loop. But if I just have it in beats mode and I am preserving our transients, so it's gonna kind of stutter with the transients, and I just have these quick little kind of bursts of samples, right? The fade's at 18, then it's this fun little, like, very percussive version of a loop. And in the context. Oh, okay, and then we have these fun little knockies in the bridge section. Oh my God, I was falling And where did these come from? Let me pull out this. Woo, that was a long sample that I took. What did I resample? Oh, I see. I spread this way out. Look at the BPM down here, 999. Let's go make it back to being small. I think I just like stretched the shit out of it. Cool. Okay, we're gonna find the sound later because I recognize it from a different part. It's being used in the bridge as a melody as well. We're gonna get to that. Good job, Lillian. That's fun. Okay, cool. Bass. For the bass, I am using kick 808 overdriven. So it's actually an 808 kick that I'm layering with my kick. Love it. Okay, this is a really fun kick sample that I processed with a compressor. It's sidechaining to the kick, so it's kind of letting the kick take the front row. I'm also using this Shep's Parallel Particles sub all the way turned up, so without, with. Add some nice beef. Okay, and then I have R Bass, which is another Waves plugin, and it is being parallel processed because I guess I want to keep the dry signal as well. And I'm just pulling in like a -6 decibels of my R bass. And then I have, let's see, a couple EQs, another compressor. I got some reverb, some parallel process reverb. It looks like it is automated. Okay, it's just adding a little bit of reverb to the tail on the outro. Cute. Okay, and I parallel processed it just because I wanted to bring up the reverb signal around the bass, but I didn't want to lower the dry signal of the bass. So that is our bass friend. Next, we're gonna go on to synths. So you've already seen a couple of these synths, but let's go back through them. We have our main ting, which is the main synth that's happening in the background of the chorus. If I ain't lying, baby, so it's basic brushed bells. This is just an Ableton instrument with a drum bus on it, giving a little bit of crunch, a little drive, a lot of boom. Yeah, a lot of boom. I wonder why this has boom on it. Doesn't really make sense. I got a Wider plugin. I love Wider. This is just a free polyverse plugin. It pushes shit out to the side. I use this on basically anything I want to widen. A little bit of glue compression. Oh, this phaser flanger is giving it this like fun little like wobbly water feel. Cool, a little bit of a delay. I often like to add a little bit of difference between our left and our right channels because that adds stereo width. When we have a difference between the left and the right channels, it gives us that width. And especially for this sound, I wanted it kind of on the sides and not really interfering with my vocal in the middle. Delay, utility, auto plan, pan, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, my favorite part about this sound is that we start off with A minor, and then by the time we get to the third chorus, we now switch over and have that first chord be a major chord, and we get a D major. I love this technique. It like lifts up the whole song, and so I was really excited to use it here because I wanted the ending to have this kind of like self-accepting like resolution. Okay, and then we have aux ting, which y'all have seen. This is just basic brush bells. So this is actually the exact same instrument as main ting, but this is aux ting. I guess it has slightly different processing. Okay, it has a sloppy delay. Wait, that's only at a certain point. Oh yeah, this is just like a flourish, a little transition to get us into the bridge. I love that little wobble because we have some modulation on our filter and our time that's giving it that wobble. A little automated delay can go such a far way in just bringing together different sections and helping out with the transitions. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, this next friend here is Phase Plant, and this is a wonderful plugin. I adore this one by Kilohertz. It's called Dust Chord that I'm using right here. And what is Dust Chord up to? What's she doing? It's just a fun chord being held down, and then I just have a pitch bend that is bending it down into the next chorus. So smooth. All right, cool. And then this is Bassy Tings. Bassy Tings is just a sine wave, but it sounds so good. I love this instrument. I love how simple it is. It's just a fun little doom, 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 doom. I freaking love this preset. It's just an audio effect preset that Ableton has. There are a bunch of different types: compute, not, does, malfunction, extreme. Oh, so fun. I love bringing this in as a parallel process because I want the dry signal, but I also want this kind of like crackly thing around it. Okay, a warm pad. This is a pad that comes in and the last chorus. And it is just there to, once again, just bring us up higher, and it is complementing our main thing. What do we have here? A saw up shaper. This is just an auto pan that has been reconfigured. I just have the phase on 360 instead of in the middle. So the volume is going up and down at the same time instead of an auto pan. So this is just to give it a nice little... yeah. Okay, my vocal chops. I love these vocal chops. They are so fun. Okay, so here's how I made them. Let's go ahead and find the sample that this drum rack was sliced from, because this is a drum rack that I made. Let's go ahead and right click, show in Finder, and then we can see here, this is our sample, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull that into a new audio track. Okay, here's the original file. The sample that we started with was beneath paper palm trees, left stars folk on me, breathe me in deeply. Woo! Okay, so that is one of my first scratch vocals for this project. That's what turned into beneath paper palm trees, apricots and sunscreen. Anyways, but this is what it started out as, and then I just right click, slice to new MIDI track. I probably created a slice per quarter note or something like that, hit OK, and then essentially this guy was created. So we have all these slices. And then just programmed in a cool little MIDI situation on my piano roll. Yeah, this is so fun to do whenever I'm stuck and I'm not sure where to go next. I just find a piece of audio, whether that's a vocal or I will resample a synth or something like that. And then I will just right click, slice to new MIDI, and then I have all these cool little chops to work with and create a cool new progression with. And then what else? We got just some cool echo happening on it. Again, I just have that delay automation at the end of our phrase. I love that preset. I used a lot of good presets in this one. I'm constantly amazed at how many amazing presets Ableton has in terms of their audio effect tracks and their audio effects and just everything. All the things. Great, those are our synths. On to our audio. So I have a group of just my leads. This can't be too interesting, but these are all just leads that I would have made out of reverb tails from synths and then reversed them or something of that nature. Oh, actually, the way that I did this one, okay, this is fun. Okay, I love doing this. Okay, so as you can kind of hear, our bass sound for this one is going to be main-ting. What I did is I threw in a delay and I keep it on repitch. I go to 100% wet, and then I create a new audio track, Command T. I set my input to be resampling, and then I just are my track here. And as I am playing back this track, I am recording into this track, and I am changing the settings on my delay, and it's gonna capture stuff that sounds like this. So as it's coming through, I'm changing the delay, and then I get this long audio sample for however long I want to do this, and it all starts to like all these like loopy sounds. So this audio track is essentially that. Now, if we just listen to this very end part, it's just like this entry into verse 4's ooh ah, and then it goes. It's a funny thing. Oh, while we are at this section, let's discuss that pitch drop. That is literally pitch drop. That is a Max for Live device that is on all of the instruments. So this not Vox group This is my entire instrumental. So this pitch drop is on my instrumental, and I have a pitch drop of 5/16 notes that is being automated to turn on right there. And I automate it to take everything out when I'm saying the word intimacy. And I love that effect of everything else just leaving, and it's just me and my voice in a very raw state, and you can hear my breaths. And it's a very intimate moment that I'm having, right, with the audience, with whoever is listening. And I love the way that pitch drop accentuates that moment. So, chorus tings. Who are you? Where did you come from? Okay, I know I made this one. I made this by putting a pitch loop 89 on aux tings. So I could hear that the bass sound for that was our aux tings right here. So pitch loop 89 is one of my favorite audio effects. It is a Max for Live device. And it is like a granular synthesizer / delay. It's very fun. I made a full video about how to use pitch loop 89, so check it out. This is another way that I can get just a million sounds from one sound. So what you do is the same thing as you did with your delay. You put pitch loop on aux ting, dry wet to 100, new audio track, set the input to resampling, arm your track, and then as you are listening and recording, you are moving the parameters of the pitch loop. Cool, I could do that forever, and sometimes I do. Anyways, once you have these long resampled audio clips, then you can chop them up and throw them in where they sound cool. So that's what I did throughout this entire song. Let's see, this next one here is just chorus tings, but a lower octave, just pitching it down within the clip right there. And then what else we got here? We got fairy glitter. Pulling it out. Yeah, okay, so this is how we got those little knockies in the bridge, is it came from this resample, which if we go ahead and make this smaller again. Oh. This probably came from the pitch loop resample. Maybe I did the pitch loop thing on a different sound, but it's basically the same thing. Finally fall in, finally fall in. Okay, great. White noise. This is a fun technique. This is a technique I got from Grimes, where she said in one interview that she'll just put like a crowd cheering in the track and sidechain it, so it just automatically has this like big energy to it. So I did that with white noise. It's just kind of adding like energy and sound to the chorus. And y'all, that is all. It's a relatively simple song. I tried to use the Marie Kondo method of music production, which is if it sparks joy, keep it. If it doesn't, let it go. And I can tell you that every single one of the sounds in there sparks joy within me, and hopefully it sparks joy within you too. Okay, but the vocs are very fun as well. Here's what we have in our vocals. We have 2 lead verse tracks that are just both in the center, both the same loudness, which I don't ever do, so I'm not sure why they are doing that. But I guess it sounded good, and I made that decision for myself at some point, so I trust you, Lillian. Okay, what do we have that's fun and exciting here? Okay, I love this part right here. One drop is all it takes to melt the icing off the surface. Yeah, okay, so what I'm doing here is the same pitch drop technique. I have a pitch drop on all the instrumentals that is being applied right here. And I think I also have one probably on the verse as well. Yeah, I have another one happening on the verse. So everything else goes out, and then the lead chorus comes in. And the lyrics are talking about the fine line, right? How we really can change our minds so fast, and how nothing's a given and nothing's set in stone. So the lyrics are, beneath paper palm trees, apricots and sunscreen, cool off when it gets too hot, lay low when you reach the top. So it's like, we're like by the pool and we're like enjoying life. But the clouds are coming and the winds are blowing. One drop is all it takes to melt the icing off the cake. And when I say cake, it's like the cake just like face plants or like melts to the ground. So we went from like this lovely scene where you're like eating cake by the pool to all of a sudden like, watch out because it's gonna melt the whole cake, this rainstorm that's coming. And that's what it does with pitch drop. Now you don't really see any processing on my vocals because I do all of my serial processing in a different project. That's where I do the EQ and the compression and the de-essing and the more compression and the other EQ and etc. And then I bounce those and I bring them in here. Yo, if I try to, no. If I try to process my vocals in here, my computer just like has a big sad because it has to think too hard. And then let's see what else. We got some fuckery here. Oh, I love that part. And this is just, I'm not really sure what's happening here. Oh, I know what this is. This is the same technique I've been using, just that resampling technique, but I'm pretty sure I'm using Pitch Hack, which is a really fun device. It's like a repitching delay. So you can change your rate and then change your pitch. So like if I go down an octave. So it's sometimes like to throw this on and then just fuck with reverse and rate. And then I get cool stuff. So anyways, that's how I probably got that. And then these friends, those are also probably using Pitch Hack on the vocals and resampling it. And we have our bridge here. And then we have our chorus, which is six choruses, center, left, right, left, right. If I ain't lying, baby, it's a fine line, baby. Now, the fun thing that I can show you guys about my processing of vocals is my parallel processing that I do in the track. So I like to do all my serial processing in a different project, and then I bring it in here and I do the parallel processing using my return tracks. I normally save my return tracks for my vocals and do all other parallel processing using racks inside of the track. So let's see, I have a reverb for the vocals that I'm sending, let's say, for example, the chorus to -15. Let's listen to that. I have a Haas delay to widen my vocals. When I say take a sip, it gets fully reverbed. Oh, and instead of Haas delay, I actually just have a wider here, but same thing, it's just to widen the vocals. And then I have a Haas delay, which is just a delay that's between like 80 and 110 milliseconds. And that's gonna give us even more width. If you add too much, it sounds gnar, for example. But if you mix it in at a lower level, it just adds a really nice amount of width and depth to your sound. And then I have this other delay here. Let's see where it's getting turned on. Here is the D. It is on the Vox group. So I'm just doing little delay throws to this delay right here. And then delay 2 is E. Let's see what's happening with E. Probably just more vocal delays, but a different delay. Yeah, right here. Wow, that turned off really fast. That's probably an accident. Cool. And then we got a room verb. This is just a very small reverb that's probably getting our drums. Yeah, this is just adding a tiny bit of space to our drums, giving it kind of some reality, some realness, and also giving it a little bit of depth, right? When we add reverb to something, we push it to the back of a space. But when we add a little bit of reverb, we just push it back a little bit, which is what we want to do with the drums because we don't want to wash out our drums. We just want to give them like a little bit of three-dimensionality. All right, cool, fam. I think that is basically the entire track. I had so much fun producing this track. Holy shit, I like fell in love with this track when I first made it. I remember having a really hard time not listening to it because I wanted to listen to it like every second, but I also didn't want to listen to it and destroy it and listen to it so much that it was going to be really hard to mix later. But yet, I listened to it a lot and I'm very proud of it. I love this song. I hope that you like it too. I hope you learned something from popping into my project. If you did, Write me down below and let me know what inspired you or what you learned or what new technique you're gonna try out. But that is all the time we have for today, and my camera's about to die due to battery beeping at me very loudly in red. So anyways, I will see you guys next time. Follow, subscribe, whatever, maybe. Follow me on Instagram. I don't know. You guys are great. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.